Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Monday, September 7th, 2020, Labor Day Monday. I'll go over everything from the weekend, from basketball, the hockey, to baseball and college football. Look ahead to everything today. We'll go over the current leaderboard at the Tour Championship in golf. We'll go over the U.S. Open from the weekend, NASCAR from the weekend as well. And then a big NFL day today. Wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, guards, and center rankings. And my best bet of the day. All right, we'll start with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Some interesting results from the weekend for sure. The Stars defeated the Avalanche 5-4 in overtime in Game 7 to advance to the Western Conference Final, so they avoid blowing a 3-1 series lead. The number 3 star of the game with 40 saves on 44 shots, Antoine Khudobin, who's been awesome for the Stars in the playoffs. The number 2 star of the game with 2 goals for the Avalanche, Vladislav Nemestikov, and the number 1 star of the game with the hat trick, including the overtime winner, Joel Kiviranta, as Dallas moved on to the conference finals. Golden Knights over the Canucks 3-0 in Game 7 as the Golden Knights move on to the Western Conference Final. The number 3 star of the game with an assist, Riley Smith. Number 2 star of the game with a goal, Shea Theodore. And number 1 star with 33 saves on 34 shots, Thatcher Demko, who is the reason why this series went 7 games. And he really made a name for himself in this series. And that brings some off-season questions for Vancouver, whether it's him or Markstrom going forward as the guy. And so that brings a little bit of controversy to the Canucks there. We'll get into hockey off-season stuff on the podcast in a couple weeks. Saturday, Islanders over the Flyers 4-0 in Game 7 as the Islanders move on to the Eastern Conference Final to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning. The number 3 star of the game with 2 assists, Josh Bailey. Number 2 star of the game with 16 saves on 16 shots, Thomas Greiss. And the number 1 star of the game with a goal and 2 assists, Brock Nelson. Last night, Stars over the Golden Knights 1-0 in Game 1 as the Stars took a 1-0 series lead. The number 3 star of the game with 24 saves on 25 shots, Marc-Andre Fleury. Number 2 star of the game with a goal, John Klingberg. Number 1 star of the game with 25 saves on 25 shots, Antoine Khudobin, again, being awesome for the Dallas Stars. Tonight is Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Final between the Islanders and the Lightning. Should be an interesting game, interesting series. In terms of a pick here, I think this will be a better and more competitive series than people think. The Islanders are a team that's proven to be built for the postseason. Their goaltending tandem has been solid. Looks like they're going to go with Thomas Greiss in Game 1 because the ex-Colorado goalie did not really perform well in Games 5 and 6 for the Islanders. They would go with Greiss for Game 7, and it worked out. Their defense is good. They're scoring goals, clutch goals. And on the other side, the Lightning, we know about the Lightning. This is their, 4th conference finals in 6 years. They have Steven Stamkos, who's not coming back in the series, according to John Cooper. You have Nikita Kucherov, you've got Braden Point, Tyler Johnson, and a bunch of other guys. Defensively, they're really good. And then Vasilevsky's been solid in net thus far in the postseason. In terms of a pick, I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning in 6 games. So, give me the Lightning here to win Game 1, and I think they'll win the series in 6 games. In terms of the Western Conference Final, I really am impressed with the Stars. They've been awesome. Miro Hiskinen's been unbelievable on the back end. So is John Klingberg. And then offensively, you got Jamie Benn and you got Tyler Seguin and Alexander Radulov and Roope Hintz. And then the goalie, Advan Kabulin, has been unreal. And then Vegas, you have the Leonard and Fleury tandem. Last night it was Fleury that was in net. He did not cost them the game. He played very well. It's just that they couldn't score against the Stars last night for whatever reason. Maybe it was a Game 7 hangover. Alex Tuck and Mark Stone and Max Pacioretty, William Karlsson, they're loaded offensively. And in their defense, Shea Theodore, and they have a lot of solid players on the back end as well. In terms of a pick, I'm going to go with the Golden Knights in 6. I think that they're the better team, and I think their offense will be too much for Dallas's defense eventually. So I still feel good about the 6 pick, but I'm going to say that Dallas will win one more in this series to make it somewhat interesting. So give me the Golden Knights in 6 over the Dallas Stars, and then the Lightning in 6 over the Islanders. Now I'm going to go over the NBA playoff results from the weekend and look ahead to the games today. We'll start Friday night. Heat over the Bucks 115-100 to take a 3-0 series lead. Jimmy Butler had 30 with 6 assists. Brook Lopez led the Bucks in scoring with 22. Giannis 21, 16, and 9. Rockets over the Lakers 112-97 to take a 1-0 series lead. James Harden had 36 points. Anthony Davis had 25 and 14. LeBron 28 and 7. Saturday, Raptors over the Celtics 193 to even up the series at 2 apiece. Pascal Siakam had 23 points and 11 boards. Jason Tatum 24 points and 10 boards. Nuggets over the Clippers 110-101. Huge bounce back win for Denver, even at this up at 1 apiece. Jamal Murray had 27 points and 6 assists. Good bounce back game for him. Paul George 22 points to lead the Clippers. Yesterday, Bucks over the Heat 118-115 in overtime to get on the board in the series to avoid the sweep, and that was the majority of the game without Giannis Antetokounmpo due to an ankle injury that he had suffered in Game 3. Chris Middleton had 36 points and 8 assists to lead the way. Bam Adebayo, 26 points, 12 boards, and 8 assists for Miami. Lakers over the Rockets 117-109 to even up the series at 1 apiece. Looked like the Lakers were going to blow out the Rockets, and the Rockets came back and took the lead in the third quarter. And then LeBron James looked like LeBron James in the fourth quarter to help even this thing up at 1 apiece. But Anthony Davis led the Lakers in scoring again. He had 34 points. LeBron, meanwhile, was an assist shy of a triple-double. He had 28, 11, and 9. And meanwhile, for the Rockets, James Harden had 27 points and 7 assists. Russell Westbrook, 10, 13, and 4. That's a weird stat line. 2 games on today, 6:30 TNT. You have Game 5 between the Celtics and the Raptors. The Celtics are favored by 1.5 over under 212. I'd make Toronto by 4.5. I don't see any injuries for the Raptors. Give me the Raptors getting the points. They're winning this outright to take a 3-2 series lead. Do I feel good about it? Yes, I actually do feel pretty good about it because I think they had a good turnaround. I think that buzzer beater by OG Anunoby from Thursday night got them going. Clippers Nuggets. The Clippers are favored by 8.5 over under 220.5. The Clippers should be 3-point favorites. No Will Barton hurts Denver, but Denver found a way to win Game 2. I think Denver covers here again today, but I don't think they'll win. I think the Clippers will win this game to take a 2-1 series lead. So give me the Clippers to win, but the Nuggets to cover. Now we'll move on to Major League Baseball. We'll go over the games between Friday and yesterday and look ahead to today's Labor Day Monday slate of games. Doubleheader Game 1, Yanks over the Orioles 6-5. Yanks went to 21-16, Baltimore 16-21. Doubleheader Game 2, Orioles over the Yanks 6-3 and 7. Like I said, doubleheader. But the Yanks, the first game ended in 9, technically, so they didn't mark it, which was weird. Baltimore 17-21, Yanks 21-17. Twins over the Tigers, doubleheader game 1, 2-0. In 7, Twins 23-16, Detroit 17-18. Doubleheader game 1, Reds over the Pirates 4-2. Cincinnati 17-21, Pittsburgh 11-25. Doubleheader game 1, Blue Jays over the Red Sox 8-7. Toronto 21-16, Boston 12-27. Braves over the Nationals 7-1, game 1 doubleheader. Braves 23-14, Washington 12-24. Twins over the Tigers 3-2 in 8, doubleheader game 2. Twins 24-16, Detroit 17-19. Rays over the Marlins 5-4, Rays 27-12, Marlins 16-17. Brewers over the Indians 7-1, the Brewers 18-19, Cleveland 23-15. Phillies over the Mets 5-3, the Phillies 19-15, the Mets 17-22. Nationals over the Braves 10-9 and 7 in game 2. Nats 13-24, Atlanta 23-15. Pirates over the Reds 4-3 and 7. Pittsburgh 12-25, Cincinnati 17-22. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 3-2 and 7 in game 2 of the doubleheader. Boston 13-27, Toronto 21-17. White Sox over the Royals 7-4, the White Sox 24-15, KC 14-25. Cubs over the Cardinals 4-1, Cubs 23-15, Cardinals 14-15. Angels over the Astros 6-5-11 on a walk-off single by Shohei Ohtani. Angels 14-25, Houston 21-16. Mariners over the Rangers 6-3, Mariners 16-22, Texas 13-24. Dodgers over the Rockies 10-6, Dodgers 30-10, Colorado 18-20. Padres over the Athletics 7-0, Padres 24-16, Oakland 22-13. Diamondbacks over the Giants 6-5, D-backs 15-24, San Francisco 18-21. Saturday, the Athletics over the Padres 8-4, A's 23-13, San Diego 24-17. Cards over the Cubs 4-2 in game 1 of a doubleheader. Cards 15-15, Cubs 23-16. Marlins over the Rays 7-3, the Marlins 17-17, Tampa 27-13. White Sox over the Royals 5-3, the White Sox 25-15, KC 14-26. Reds over the Pirates 6-2, the Reds 18-22, Pittsburgh 12-26. Orioles over the Yanks 6-1, Orioles 18-21, Yanks 21-18. Angels over the Astros 10-9 in doubleheader game 1. This ended on a walk-off single by Joe Adell, which scored 2. Angels 15-25, Astros 21-17. Nats over the Braves 10-4, Nats 14-24, Atlanta 23-16. Indians over the Brewers 4-3, Indians 24-15, Milwaukee 18-20. Twins over the Tigers 4-3, the Twins 25-16, Detroit 17-20. Mets over the Phils 5-1, Mets 18-22, Phils 19-16. Red Sox over the Blue Jays 9-8, Red Sox 14-27, Toronto 21-18. Cardinals over the Cubs 5-1, game 2 of the doubleheader. Cards 16-15, Cubs 23-17. Rockies over the Dodgers 5-2, Rockies 19-20, Dodgers 30-11. Mariners over the Rangers 5-1 or 5-3, Mariners 17-22, Texas 13-25. Can't believe the Mariners have a better record than the Rangers. That's surprising to me. Giants over the Diamondbacks 4-3, the Giants 19-21, Arizona 15-25. Angels over the Astros 7-6. Game 2 of a doubleheader. Angels 16-25, Astros 21-18. Yesterday, Orioles over the Yanks 5-1 as they won 3 out of 4 from the struggling Yankees. 19-21 are the O's. Yanks 21-19. Indians over the Brewers 4-1. Indians 25-15. Brewers 18-21. Braves over the Nats 10-3. Braves 24-16. Nats 14-25. Mets over the Phils 14-1. Mets 19-22. Phillies 19-17. Rays over the Marlins 5-4 and 10 on a walk-off sac fly by Brandon Lau. Rays 28-13. Miami 17-18. Blue Jays over the Red Sox 10-8. Jays are ahead of the Yankees now in the American League East. 22-18. Boston 14-28. Pirates over the Reds 3-2. Pittsburgh 13-26, Cincinnati 18-23. White Sox over the Royals 8-2. The White Sox at 26-15. KC 14-27. Tigers over the Twins 10-8. Detroit 18-20. Minnesota 25-17. Giants over the Diamondbacks 4-2. The Giants 20-21. Arizona 15-26. Angels over the Astros 9-5. Angels 17-25. Houston 21-19. So the Astros, along with the Yankees, have been struggling here. Padres over the Ace 5-3. Padres 25-17. Oakland 23-14. Mariners over the Rangers 4-3. The Mariners are 18-22. Texas 13-26. Cardinals over the Cubs 7-3. The Cardinals 17-15. The Cubs 23-18. The Cubs have kind of collapsed here a little bit, and the Cardinals have been playing better and better since their post-COVID return, and they were struggling a little bit there, but they've really turned it around. Good on the Cardinals. Rockies over the Dodgers 7-6. Rocks 20-20. Dodgers 30-12. So the Rockies go out to LA and win a series against the Dodgers. So that's impressive. Today's games at 1 o'clock. You have the Marlins and the Braves. Jose Urena and Ian Anderson. Phil's Mets. Zach Wheeler and David Peterson. 2 o'clock. Tigers Twins. Michael Fulmer and Michael Pineda. 4 o'clock. ESPN. Cardinals Cubs. Johan Oviedo and Kyle Hendricks. Good game on ESPN. The Cardinals, I want to see what they are on the money line, because that's an intriguing underdog there. The Cardinals are plus 154. The Cubs are minus 178. I am going to go with the Cubs. They have their best pitcher on the mound in Kyle Hendricks. Well, that's who I think is their best pitcher right now. So give me the Cubs. I don't feel good about it, although that Cardinals number is super enticing. Because I get it, Hendricks is great, but Johan Oviedo is not horrible. 4.3 ERA, whip of .95. Cards have won a couple in a row. But I think the Cubs are due for a win here, so give me the Cubs at home against the Cardinals. Rangers, Mariners, Colby Allard and Marco Gonzalez. 6 o'clock, Rays, Nats. Charlie Morton, Max Scherzer. I would, let's see what the Rays are in that game. Plus 104. That's a good underdog right there in Tampa against the struggling Nationals. Royals, Indians. Brad Keller and Zach Plesac. I almost said Shane Bieber by mistake there. Great pitching matchup in that one. What are the Royals? Plus 194. That's a good underdog pick. I like them to win outright. 6:30, Yanks, Blue Jays. Jordan Montgomery and Hyunjin Ryu. Blue Jays are favored, minus 130. The books are adjusting here to for the Blue Jays and for the Yanks. Blue Jays heading in the right direction. Yankees obviously not. The Yanks are plus 114. I like that. I would bet the Yanks if they were maybe plus 120, but I think that's going to go down. I feel like the Yankees are going to get a lot of money because they're going to see Yankees as a dog, but I think the right team's favored in this one because Ryu's been unbelievable for Toronto after a slow start, and then Montgomery was asked to make a leap this year, and he has really not made a leap. He's been not very good, so the Blue Jays should be favored in this game, and I think they're probably going to win today. Diamondbacks, Giants, Zach Gallen and Kevin Gausman. And how is the Arizona dog? Like, that's crazy. Gallen is much better than Gausman. That's an underdog I like. They're plus 102 to win outright. 9 o'clock, A's hosting the Astros. Christian Javier and Frankie Montas, and Rockies Padres on Fox Sports 1. Kyle Freeland and Dinelson Lamet. What are the Rockies? Plus 172. That's a really good price on the Rocks. Dinelson Lamet's been awesome this year. He's pretty much stepped up as like probably their best pitcher so far this year. I thought he was overrated coming into the season because he had better odds or shorter odds than his own teammate Chris Paddock, who was a Rookie of the Year candidate last year to win the National League Cy Young Award. So, but I'm wrong. Dinelson Lamet's the real deal. The Rockies are an enticing price, but I think they're going to have a letdown here after winning a couple games against the Dodgers. So give me the Padres at home here against the Dodgers. Against the Rockies. Now I'll move on to college football from the weekend and go over the games that were played on Saturday. And we'll preview and pick tonight's game between BYU and Navy. Marshall over Eastern Kentucky, 59-0. Marshall's 1-0, Eastern Kentucky 0-1. Grant Wells, 16-23, 307 yards, 4 touchdowns. And the quarterback of Eastern was Parker McKinney, 7-10, 71 yards and a pick. Army over Middle Tennessee, 42-0. Impressive win for Army. They look poised for a bounce-back season. They're 1-0, Middle's 0-1. And they proved what they are, the running team that they've always been. Christian Anderson only threw for 28 yards, 2 for 4. And Chase Cunningham started for Middle, 7-10 with 63 yards. SMU over Texas State, 31-24. SMU's 1-0, Texas State's 0-1. I'm surprised this game was competitive. Shane Buechele, 26-36, 367 yards, a touchdown and 2 picks. And the quarterback for Texas State, Brady McBride, 21-39, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. North Texas over Houston Baptist, 57-31. North Texas 1-0, Houston Baptist 0-1. Jason Bean, 11 of 18, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. And Bailey Zappi, 39 of 62, 480 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Memphis defeated Arkansas State, 37-24. Memphis 1-0, Arkansas State 0-1. Brady White, 26 of 36, 275 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. And Lane Hatcher, 13 of 20, 166 yards. UTEP over Stephen F. Austin, 24-14. UTEP scored a touchdown in the fourth quarter to put this away. UTEP 1-0, probably their only win this year. Stephen F. Austin 0-1. Starting at quarterback for UTEP was Gavin Henderson, 17 of 28, 212 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Trey Self, 14 of 21, 133 yards, a touchdown and an interception. And tonight, 8 o'clock ESPN BYU Navy. BYU is a 1-point favorite according to ESPN. On FanDuel, BYU's minus 1.5. I personally would make this game I think Navy should be favored by a point, so I think the wrong team's favored here, and I won't be shocked if Navy closes as a favorite here. So give me Navy plus 1.5, and I think they win the game outright. So there you have it for my pick for what should be a good football game tonight between two former independents. So these two schools are sort of rivals in a way, and I think that it's going to be a good game tonight. Now we'll move on to the WNBA, go over games from yesterday, and look ahead to the games for today. Actually, there's only one game today. It was a rescheduled game from the pause. So we'll start with Friday. Mystics over the Sky, 79-69. The Mystics 5-12, Chicago 11-8. Leilani Mitchell had 20. Cheyenne Parker had 17. Lynx over the Wings, 88-75. The Lynx 13-5. Dallas 6-12. Alicia Gray had 26 points. Demarius Dantis had 18. Storm over the Sparks, 90-89. Seattle 15-3. LA 13-5. Candace Parker had 25 points. Jewel Lloyd also had 25 points. Mercury over the Liberty, 83-67. The Mercury 12-7. The Liberty are a disastrous 2-16, and they're eliminated from playoff contention. Skylar Diggins-Smith had 30. Jordan Holmes had 13. Sun over the Fever, 96-77. Connecticut 9-10. Indiana 5-14. Kelsey Mitchell had 16. Dewana Bonner had 26. Aces over the Dream, 89-79. Las Vegas 14-4. Atlanta 5-14. Mentija Laney had 21 for Atlanta. Aja Wilson had 21 for Vegas. Yesterday, Wings over the Mystics 101-94 in overtime. The Wings 7-12. Washington 5-13. The Wings have been a little better than I expected this year. Enrique Agumbali had 39 and Ariel Atkins had 22. Storm over the Lynx 103-88. The Storm is 16-3. Minnesota 13-6. Natasha Howard had 19 and Demarius Dantis had 22. Sparks over the Sky 86-80. The Sparks 14-5. Chicago 11-9. Chicago has been a little disappointing of late, although they've had a tough schedule. But I'm a little disappointed in the Sky here. Candace Parker had 24 for the Sparks with 15 boards. Cheyenne Parker had 24 points and 10 boards for the Sky. One game tonight, 6 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, the Sun and the Mercury. The Sun have underachieved thus far this season. And then Mercury have turned it around after a little bit of a slow start. I'm going to continue riding with the Mercury. I just think they're better than the Sun. I know Dewana Bonner has been putting up numbers for Connecticut and I think can win them this game. I think the Sun have a chance here, but I'm going to go with the Mercury here to continue their surgence. Now we'll move on to golf. We'll go over the leaderboard thus far at the Tour Championship. Obviously, today's the last day of it. Today's the final round. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all comes to fruition. In the leader spot right now, with a comfortable lead, Dustin Johnson. Tied for second, Justin Thomas and Xander Schauffele at 14 under. Fourth, John Rahm, 13 under. Fifth, Colin Morikawa, 12 under. Tied for sixth with 10 under, Sanjay and Daniel Berger. Eighth, Scotty Scheffler, 9 under. Ninth, Tyrell Hatton, Brendan Todd, Rory McIlroy, 8 under. Tied for 12th, Mackenzie Hughes, Abraham Ancer, Tony Finau, Patrick Reed, Hideki Matsuyama, Webb Simpson, 7 under. Tied for 18th with 6 under, Sebastian Munoz and Lucas Griffin. Tied for 20th with 4 under, Victor Hovland, Harry English, and Bryson DeChambeau. 23rd, Cam Champ at 2 under. Tied for 24th, Joaquin Neiman and Cameron Smith with 1 under. 26th, Kevin Kisner at even. 27th, Kevin Na, 1 over. 28th, Ryan Palmer, 2 over. 29th, Mark Leishman with 3 over. And 30th with 5 over, Billy Horschel. So, should be interesting to see if Schauffele, Justin Thomas, or even somebody else can catch up to DJ for the finish. But DJ's got a pretty good lead here. Now we'll move on to the U.S. Open. In tennis, we'll start with the men's side of things and go over the matches from the weekend, and then we'll look ahead to today and tomorrow. Friday was round 3. Coric over Tsitsipas in 5. Djokovic over Struff in 3. Zverev over Monterino in 4. Carreno Busta over Barancas in 3. Shapovalov over Fritz in 5. Thompson over Kushkin in 3. Goffin over Krajinovic in 3. And Dadmovic Fokina over Nori in 4. Saturday was also round 3. Time over Silic in 4. Tiafoe over Fuskovic in 3. Auger Asalami over Matet in 3. Berrettini over Rudd in 3. Demeanor over Kaknavov in 5. Pospisil over Batista Agut in 5. That's a big upset. Medvedev over Wolf in 3. And Rublev over Caruso in 3. Yesterday, round of 16 began. Shapovalov over Goff in 4. Koric over Thompson in 3. Carreno Busta over Djokovic. It was retired. Djokovic had to withdraw due to disqualification. And he got disqualified, and it was the really a big deal, and he probably cost himself a championship here with his disqualification. So we're going to obviously have an unexpected winner here after he inadvertently striking the line judge with the ball that he smacked in frustration. So he was disqualified. And moving on to the next round was Pablo Carreno Busta. Zverev over Dadmovic Fokina in 3. And going on right now, we have Pospisil and Demeanor. I think Demeanor moves on. And then Auger and Alasami and time. I'm going to go with time. I'm going to go with Berrettini over Rublev. And I'm going to go with Medvedev over Tiafoe. Although I won't be surprised if Tiafoe makes it interesting. And then tomorrow we have the quarterfinals beginning. You have Carreno Busta and Shapovalov and Soric and Zverev. We'll pick those matches on the podcast tomorrow. Now we'll move on to the women's. Friday, round 3. Kvitova over Pegula in 2. Rogers over Brengel in 2. Kontaveit over Lynette in 2. Brady over Garcia in 2. Kerber over Lee in 2. Osaka over Katsuyuk in 3. Martic over Gracheva in 3. And Putintseva over Sasnovich in 3. Saturday, Kenin over Jabeur in 2. Cornet over Keys in 2. And that was a retired one. Azarenka over Swiatek in 2. Prinkova over Vecek in 2. Williams over Stevens in 3. Mertens over Vigdali in 2. Muchova over Seresta in 3. Sakari over Anisimova in 2. Yesterday, round of 16 began. Osaka over Kontaveit in 2. Rogers upsets Kvitova in 3. Putintseva over Martic in 3. Brady over Kerber in 2. Going on right now, you have Serena against Maria Sakkari. I think Serena will win. I think Serena has a big chip on her shoulder in this tournament. And I won't be shocked if she goes out and wins it. Cornet and Prinkova. I'm going to go with Prinkova here. I think this is going to be a good match too, by the way. Azarenka and Muchova will go with Muchova. And then Mertens and Kenin is a good matchup. I'm going to go with Sofia Kenin here to advance over Elise Mertens in what should be another great match. And 2 of the quarterfinals are set. I'll pick them on tomorrow's show. You got Jennifer Brady and Yulia Putintseva and Naomi Osaka against Shelby Rogers. So that should be interesting. Now we'll move on to NASCAR from the weekend and go over those race results. We'll start with the Xfinity race from Saturday in Darlington. And Brandon Jones came out on top in this race. Then in second, Ross Chase. In third, Ryan Sieg. Fourth, Riley Herbst. Fifth, Denny Hamlin. Sixth, Harrison Burton. That was my pick. Seventh, Noah Gragson. Eighth, Michael Annett. Ninth, Austin Hill. 10th, Matt Snyder. 11th, Chase Briscoe. 12th, Austin Cindric. 13th, Justin Haley. 14th, BJ McLeod. 15th, Josh Williams. 16th, Alex Labe. 17th, Brandon Brown. 18th, Jesse Little. 19th, Colby Howard. 20th, Chad Fincham. 21st, Jeffrey Earnhardt. 22nd, Matt Mills. 23rd, Joe Graf Jr. Rest of the results, Bailey Curry, Ryan Vargas, Tommy Joe Martins, Anthony Alfredo, Vinnie Miller, Cody Vanderwall, Dexter Bean, Justin Alger, Jeremy Clements, Brett Moffitt, David Starr, Stephen Licht, Kyle Weatherman, and Daniel Hermick. And now we'll go over the Truck Series results from Sunday at Darlington. And your winner there was Ben Rhodes, who wins it in overtime. And then the rest of the results: Derek Kraus, Austin Hill, Grant Effinger, Christian Nex, Raphael Lester, Todd Gilliland, Stuart Friesen, Timmy Hill, Brett Moffitt, Tyler Enkin, Bailey Curry, Ty Majeski, Matt Crafton, Tate Fogelman, Zane Smith, Austin Wayne Self, Sheldon Creek, Greg Biffle, Danny Bone, Clay Greenfield, David Reagan, Chandler Smith, Jordan Anderson, Cody Rohrbach, Spencer Boyd, Trevor Bain, Josh Rumi, Tanner Gray, Jennifer Jo Cobb, Johnny Sauter, who was my pick, disappointing 31st, Norm Benning, Dawson Cram, and Bryant Barnhill. And now we'll move on to the Cup Series results from Sunday night. And your winner was Kevin Harvick, obviously, who has been the best NASCAR driver this year, and it's not even close. And then to round out the top 10, Austin Dillon, Joey Logano, Eric Jones, William Byron, Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, Eric Almirola, Clint Bowyer. And then the rest of the race: Brad Keselowski, Cole Custer, Denny Hamlin, Matt Kenseth, Ryan Newman, Michael McDowell, Ryan Preece, Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Chase Elliott, Matt DiBenedetto, Martin Truex Jr., Tyler Riddick, Ryan Blaney, Daniel Suarez, Chris Buescher, Ty Dillon, Brennan Poole, Ross Chaston, J.J. Yealy, Quinn Houff, Josh Bilicki, Joey Gase, Chris Bell, Timmy Hill, John Hunter Nemechek, Corey LaJoie, Bubba Wallace, and James Davison. And I picked Kyle Busch, obviously. He came in 7th place, not bad. Now we'll move on and go over my rankings for NFL wide receivers, tight ends, tackles, guards, and centers. We'll start with wide receivers. We're going to squeeze the rest of the offense into today. Tomorrow we'll do defensive ends, defensive tackles, and linebackers, and we'll break the linebackers up to middle and inside and outside. And then Wednesday we'll do safeties and corners. And Thursday we'll do kickers and punters. And then obviously the top 100 players will be on the podcast. That's in the special preview and predictions podcast, which I am going to do on Wednesday. All right, we'll start with wide receivers. There's obviously a lot of them. And there were a couple cuts over the weekend as well for some teams. So some of these guys on this list are indeed free agents. So without further ado, here we go. All right. Number 109, Richie James, 49ers. 108, Lil Jordan Humphrey, Saints. 107, Justin Watson, Buccaneers. 106, Isaiah Ford, Dolphins. 105, Preston Williams, Dolphins. 104, Khalil Hodge, Browns, or Kaderil Hodge, my bad. 103, Joe Reed, Chargers. 102, Acanius St. Brown, Packers. 101, Antonio Gandy Golden, football team. 100, Tyler Johnson, Buccaneers. 99, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Packers. 96, Chris Moore, Ravens. 97, Tamiri Bird, Patriots. 96, Olabisi Johnson, Vikings. 95, Philip Dorsett, Seahawks. 94, Anthony Miller, Bears. 93, Chris Conley, Jaguars. 92, Chris Hogan, Jets. 91, Corey Coleman, free agent, was on the Giants but was just recently cut. 90, David Moore, Seahawks. 89, Matthew Slater, Patriots. 88, Darius Jennings, Chargers. 87, DeMarcus Robinson, Chiefs. 86, Trey Quinn, Redskins. 85, Adam Humphries, Titans. 84, Tajay Sharp, Vikings. 83, Russell Gage, Falcons. 82, Traquan Smith, Saints. 81, Laquan Treadwell, Falcons. 80, Alan Lazard, Packers. 79, Brian Edwards, Raiders. 78, Rashad Higgins, Browns. 77, KJ Hamler, Broncos. 76, Jalen Reagor, Eagles. 75, N'Keal Harry, Patriots. 74, Miles Boykin, Ravens. 73, Kendrick Bourne, 49ers. 72, Tedgen Jr., Bears. 71, Willie Snead, Ravens. 70, Rashad Perryman, Jets. 69, Danny Amendola, Lions. 68, Larry Fitzgerald, Cardinals. 67, Cole Beasley, Bills. 66, Paris Campbell, Colts. 67, James Washington, Steelers. 64, John Ross, Bengals. 63, D.D. Westbrook, Jaguars. 62, Mecole Hardman, Chiefs. So, a couple of these guys I just listed off between Campbell, Washington, Ross, Westbrook, Hardman. I think one of those five, if not all those five, could have breakout seasons this year. And then those couple veterans I listed before them, I just think are getting a little older, like Amendola and Fitzgerald. Perryman had a good year last year. I think there's a chance he falls off. Kendrick Bourne might be better than what I had. A couple of those rookies may be better than what I ranked them as well. And back to the list, 61, Randall Cobb, Texans. Cobb was on the Cowboys last year as the number 3 guy. I think he'll be a good number 3 for Deshaun Watson. 60, Jamison Crowder, Jets. He had some moments last year with Sam Darnold and the Jets. 59, Hunter Renfrow, Raiders. This guy could have a good year this year for Derek Carr and the Raiders. 58, Tyler Boyd, Bengals. He's kind of a sleepy fantasy guy coming into the year. 57, Deshaun Jackson, Eagles. Jackson obviously got in trouble in the offseason for making that comment about Jews. There was speculation that the Eagles were going to cut him, but no, maybe he winds up getting a suspension or something, but I know he was fined for it. 56, Robbie Anderson, Panthers. I'm not the biggest Robbie Anderson fan in the world, but he could produce for the Panthers. 55, Sterling Shepard, Giants. This guy can just never stay healthy. I think he's one of the more overrated receivers in the league from that standpoint. And the Giants thought he was going to be a star, and he's probably the opposite of that. 54, Christian Kirk, Cardinals. I think this guy is a breakout star in the making. 53, Josh Reynolds, Rams. His promise is what caused the Rams to get rid of Brandon Cooks. 52, Corey Davis, Titans. He's another guy that has not lived up to expectations. 51, Will Fuller, Texans. He's like Sterling Shepard in the sense that he's always injured. 50, Michael Gallup, Cowboys. He may not have the same production as years past due to the all the weapons the Cowboys have at their disposal. 49, Deontay Johnson, Steelers. This is a popular breakout pick for the season with Big Ben back. 48, Michael Pittman, Colts. This is a rookie receiver that many folks are high on this year, including myself. 47, CeeDee Lamb, Cowboys. They should be blessed that he fell into their laps. His drafting really opens up a Pandora's box for the Cowboys and what they could possibly do with Amari Cooper in the future. Maybe they trade him after the season and they keep CeeDee Lamb and then they get some draft capital or some help on defense. 46, Brandon Ayuk, 49ers. This is a rookie receiver that is going to be heavily relied on, and so is this next guy. 45, Justin Jefferson, Vikings. And 44, Henry Ruggs, the third, Raiders. And 43, Jerry Jeudy, Broncos. All these rookies I have gulped together. I really think that these rookies are going to be awesome for their respective teams. 42, Curtis Samuel, Panthers. This is a guy that the Panthers are relying on to take a step forward. 41, Marvin Jones, Lions. He's a solid veteran. 40, Golden Tate, Giants. Golden Tate is probably a little better than I've given credit for. I think he's a very good number 2 receiver. Been in a lot of big games in his life with the Seahawks and then with the Lions. 39, John Brown, Bills. This is a guy that I think is underrated. 38, Robert Woods, Rams. He had a great year last year. 37, DJ Moore, Panthers. This is a guy that the Panthers are banking on to take a jump as well. 36, DJ Chark, Jaguars. There's a chance he takes another step forward this year. 35, Mike Williams, Chargers. This is a guy that the Chargers are always banking on to make that jump. Injuries have prevented that. 34, Sammy Watkins, Chiefs. Watkins is unbelievable. He's somebody that was thought out to be this great receiver coming out of college, but he was injury prone his first couple years, and then he finally really found the home with the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. 33, DK Metcalf, Seahawks. This is a guy that a lot of people expect to have a breakout year this year. 32, Emmanuel Sanders, Saints. This was, I think, one of the best free agent signings of the offseason. Drew Brees needed a number 2. 31, Darius Slayton, Giants. I think this guy's the best receiver on the Giants. This guy was unbelievable as a rookie last year, and I won't be shocked if he takes another step forward. And he really emerged as Daniel Jones' favorite target last year. And even Eli Manning, when he started those couple games while Daniel Jones was hurt last year, was having some chemistry with Darius Slayton. I think this guy is a number 1 receiver in the making. 30, Calvin Ridley, Falcons. This is another guy I think is going to take a step forward. 29, A.J. Brown, Titans. He was a Rookie of the Year candidate last year. 28, Terry McLaurin, Redskins. This was one of the better rookie receivers last year, but I think that he's being slept on a little bit because of the organization turmoil. 27, Devontae Parker, Dolphins. Devontae Parker made a jump last year, and I think he's going to get better as well. 26, Brandon Cooks, Texans. I think Cooks is going to have a good year at Houston, being asked to do a lot. Obviously, without DeAndre Hopkins there. 25, Jarvis Landry, Browns. I think Landry's in for a big year this year. 24, Julian Edelman, Patriots. This could either be right or wrong in either direction. Edelman, I think, is under some pressure to deliver this year. And we'll see how chemistry goes with him and Cam Newton. 23, Allen Robinson, Bears. He'd be a lot higher if he had a better quarterback. That's all I got to say. 22, Alshon Jeffrey, Eagles. There's trade rumors about Jeffrey. I think the Eagles would be making a mistake if they traded Alshon Jeffrey because he's their best receiver. Unless they really want to open things up for Jalen Reagor and think that Jalen Reagor's the next great thing. 21, AJ Green, Bengals. This is another, it could be very right or very wrong in either direction as well. I think Green's in for a huge year. He's in a contract year this year. 20, Juju Smith-Schuster, Steelers. I think Juju Smith-Schuster's in for a big bounce-back year this year with the Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger back. 19, Cortland Sutton, Broncos. Cortland Sutton really has emerged as a WR1. Well, I think he's going to be a co-WR1 with Jerry Jeudy in town now. 18, Deebo Samuel, 49ers. I think the 49ers are counting on him to make a jump from year 1 to year 2. And the other year 1 to year 2 wide receiver I think could have a big jump is Hollywood Marquise Brown at 17 on my list. Obviously, Lamar was MVP last year. Marquise Brown showed flashes last year, but I won't be shocked if this is the year he puts it all together. 16, Kenny Golladay, Lions. Kenny Golladay, I think, is one of the more underrated receivers in the league. 15, Cooper Kupp, Rams. I think he's another underrated receiver. He's Jared Goff's favorite target. 14, Tyler Lockett, Seahawks. This is Russell Wilson's favorite target. I think this guy's awesome. 13, Keenan Allen, Chargers. I think this is the most underrated receiver in the league. This guy rightfully just got a contract extension. It's interesting to see what chemistry him and Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert could build this year with each other. 12, Chris Godwin, Buccaneers. He had a big breakout year last year and really cemented himself as one of the better receivers in the league. 11, Stephon Diggs, Bills. I think being the number 1 guy in Buffalo, I think, will open things up for him and make his stats look pretty better. But obviously, there's a lot of people down on Josh Allen this year. A lot of people think he's this year's Trubisky, but I disagree with that. He has a better roster around him than Trubisky, and plus I think he has more talent than Trubisky as well. 10, T.Y. Hilton, Colts. This is another underrated guy. I think he's in for a great year this year with Phil Rivers there. 9, Devontae Adams, Packers. He's going to be asked to do a lot this year because there's not much around in terms of good supporting cast members for Aaron Rodgers. 8, Odell Beckham Jr., Browns. Odell Beckham Jr., I think, is in for a big bounce back year at the Browns after a disappointing year one. I think there's going to be less drama and more focus from Odell this year. 7, Tyreek Hill, Chiefs. Tyreek Hill is unreal. Obviously, the number one target for Patrick Mahomes, well, the co-number one along with Travis Kelce. But I'm talking about wide receivers. He's the number one guy. And I think he's in for another great year this year. 6, Amari Cooper, Cowboys. I won't be shocked if there's a production dip due to the platoon of weapons Dak Prescott has around him, but I think he's in for a good season. 5, Adam Thielen, Vikings. Thielen, I think, is in for a big season without Diggs there anymore. 4, Mike Evans, Buccaneers. Mike Evans is a stud, and I think he's in for a big year with Tom Brady. 3, Julio Jones, Falcons. Julio Jones has been injury-prone the last couple years, and that's why he's not in the top 2. Number 2, Michael Thomas, Saints. Michael Thomas has been unreal since he stepped foot in the league and has really stepped up as Drew Brees' number one target and really has revitalized Drew Brees a little bit and the Saints. And number 1, DeAndre Hopkins, Arizona Cardinals. I think he's in for a monster year after the trade. He wanted out of Houston. He's no longer there. Kyler Murray's there, and he's there, and Cliff Kingsbury, and I think he's in for a monster year this year with the Arizona Cardinals. Now we'll move on to tight ends. I have 64 tight ends on the list. They're TE1s and 2s for every team. And without further ado, here we go. 64, Chris Mannix, Panthers. 63, CJ Ozmua, Bengals. 62, Durham Smith, Dolphins. 61, Jaden Graham, Falcons. 60, Darrell Daniels, Cardinals. 59, Robert Tonyan, Packers. 58, Anthony Fisker, Titans. 57, Deion Yelder, Chiefs. 56, Virgil Green, Chargers. 55, Nick Vannett, Broncos. 54, Dalton Keene, Patriots. 53, Devin Asai, Patriots. 52, Caden Smith, Giants. 51, Jordan Thomas, Texans. 50, Richard Rodgers, football team. Actually, remember to say football team that time. 49, Jesse James, Lions. 48, Jason Witten, Raiders. 47, Greg Olsen, Seahawks. 46, Jimmy Graham, Bears. 45, Dalton Schultz, Cowboys. 44, Jeremy Sprinkle, football team. 43, Ryan Griffin, Jets. 42, James O'Shaughnessy, Jaguars. 41, Jonnu Smith, Titans. 40, Tyler Eifert, Jaguars. 39, Chris Herndon, Jets. 38, Dawson Knox, Bills. 37, Irv Smith Jr., Vikings. This is the one I'm probably going to be wrong about. The Vikings really think that he's going to take a big jump this year, so that could be wrong about that one. 36, Ian Thomas, Panthers. 35, Josh Hill, Saints. 34, Cole Kmet, Bears. This is another one I could be wrong about. They are going to rely a lot on him, apparently. 33, Drew Sample, Bengals. 32, Darren Fells, Texans. 31, Jordan Reed, 49ers. This is a guy I'm probably overrating a little bit due to his fine days with the Redskins, and I don't even know if he's the same guy or not. 30, Trey Burton, Colts. 29, Nick Boyle, Ravens. 28, Max Williams, Cardinals. 27, Mike Gesicki, Dolphins. I think that this guy could make a jump 26, David Njoku, Browns. This is another one I could be wrong about because they're going to be relying heavily on Austin Hooper. 25, Gerald Everett, Rams. I think this is one of the more underrated tight ends in the league, and I like that tandem that they have with him and Tyler Higbee. 24, Dallas Goedert, Eagles, one of the better backup tight ends in the league. 23, Mercedes Lewis, Packers. 22, Vance McDonald, Steelers. Two veterans I just listed off, Lewis and McDonald, that I think could be productive for their respective quarterbacks. But obviously, I think the Steelers have a better option, which I'm going to get to. And then I think the Packers should have drafted a tight end at the draft this year, because I don't think Lewis is all that great. 21, Tyler Kroft, Bills. He was solid for them last year. 20, Hayden Hurst, Falcons. This is the guy the Falcons are really banking on to take that next step after really being shoved aside in the Lamar Jackson Ravens offense last year. 19, O.J. Howard, Buccaneers. The Bucs are apparently going to go 2 tight ends, and Howard has yet to put it all together. 18, Will Dissly, Seahawks. This guy got hurt last year, and before he got hurt, he was unreal with the Seahawks and was on their way to being the breakout tight end of last year. But the breakout of tight end last year, which we'll get to, wasn't him because of the injury. 17, Noah Fant, Broncos. Fant is someone that the Broncos are banking on to take a jump. 16, T.J. Hockenson, Lions. Hockenson has been a guy that has been sort of injury prone. He did not have that great of a rookie year at the Lions last year, but I think he'll take a jump. 15, Jack Doyle, Colts. He had some moments for the Colts the last couple years, and now he's their number 1 tight end with Ebron gone. 14, Jared Cook, Saints. Jared Cook has been a good weapon for Drew Brees. 13, Tyler Higbee, Rams. Higbee has been solid for Jared Goff and the Rams. 12, Blake Jarwin, Cowboys. Blake Jarwin, I think, is really good. He would have had a better year last year had the Cowboys not gone back to the Jason Witten fountain. And now Witten's with the Raiders. I wonder if that had to do with Jason Garrett, by the way. Jason Witten coming out of retirement last year and coming back to the Cowboys, and then Garrett getting fired and then Witten leaving the Cowboys. Wonder if that's goes hand in hand. 11, Eric Ebron, Steelers. I think that he's going to have a good year with Roethlisberger and the Steelers. 10, Kyle Rudolph, Vikings. This is someone I probably overrated. His production has declined a little bit, and the Vikings really like Irv Smith Jr. 9, Rob Gronkowski, Buccaneers. This could be very right or very wrong in either direction. I think he's one of the wild cards coming into the season. Didn't play last year, but I think that he could be very rejuvenated playing with Tom Brady again, but not for the Patriots. 8, Hunter Henry, Chargers. This guy's been very injury prone throughout his career, but when he's on the field, he's productive. And the same can be said about number 7 on my list, there, Evan Ingram of the Giants. Number 6, Austin Hooper, Browns. He had a good year last year at the Falcons, and then the Browns overpaid him. I think the Browns want him to be a big part of their offense. And number 5, the breakout tight end from last year, or one of the two, Darren Waller, Raiders. Darren Waller really had an awesome year last year for Derek Carr and the Raiders. I think he's going to be good again this year. 4, Mark Andrews, Ravens. He was the other breakout tight end of last year, and many folks are high on him for fantasy. 3, Zach Ertz, Eagles. Zach Ertz has been a productive tight end since he came into the league, regardless of who's been the quarterback, whether it was Nick Foles or Carson Wentz. 2, Travis Kelce, Chiefs. Number 1 or number 2 is pick your poison. But I decided to go with Kelce at 2. Kelce obviously is Patrick Mahomes' is co-best weapon along with Tyreek Hill. Kelce got paid in the offseason. And number 1, George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers. This guy is unreal. Obviously the best weapon that Jimmy Garoppolo has. One of the better offensive players in the entire league. and he obviously deserves this honor for top tight end of in the NFL coming in to the 2020 NFL season. Now we'll move on to tackles for the season. 64 on the list because I did right tackles and left tackles. Each team's projected starting of each tackle side. Number 64, Jermaine Elamooner, Patriots. 63, Billy Turner, Packers. 62, Bobby Hart, Bengals. 61, Jesse Davis, Dolphins. 60, Charles Lano Jr., Bears. 59, Morgan Moses, football team. 58, Matt Pryor, Eagles. 57, Bobby Massey, Bears. 56, Sam Tevey, Chargers. 55, Cam Fleming, Giants. 54, George Fant, Jets. 53, Cedric Ogumbehi, Seahawks. 52, Cornelius Lucas, football team. 51, Cam Robinson, Jaguars. 50, Rob Havenstein, Rams. 49, Josh James, Cardinals. 48, Austin Jackson, Dolphins. 47, Mekhi Becton, Jets. 46, Titus Howard, Texans. 45, Cody Ford, Bills. 44, Caleb McGarry, Falcons. 43, Brian O'Neill, Vikings. 42, Halapavati Vitali, Lions. 41, Colton Miller, Raiders. 40, DJ Humphries, Cardinals. 39, Jake Matthews, Falcons. 38, Andrew Thomas, Giants. 37, Jawan Taylor, Jaguars. 36, Isaiah Wynn, Patriots. 35, Jonah Williams, Bengals. 34, Trent Brown, Raiders. 33, DeMar Dotson, Broncos. 32, Eric Fisher, Chiefs. 31, Russell Okung, Panthers. 30, Dennis Kelly, Titans. 29, Taylor Morton, Panthers. 28, Mike McGlinchey, 49ers. 27, Riley Reif, Vikings. 26, Andrew Whitworth, Rams. 25, Matt Fiedler, Steelers. 24, Garrett Bowles, Broncos. 23, Taylor Lewan, Titans. 22, Jedrick Wills Jr., Browns. 21, Tristan Wirfs, Buccaneers. 20, Braden Smith, Colts. 19, La'el Collins, Cowboys. 18, Brian Bulaga, Chargers. 17, Alejandro Villanueva, Steelers. 16, Jack Conklin, Browns. 15, Orlando Brown, Ravens. 14, Taylor Decker, Lions. 13, Deion Dawkins, Bills. 12, Donovan Smith, Buccaneers. 11, Dwayne Brown, Seahawks. 10, Anthony Castonzo, Colts. 9, Rodney Stanley, Ravens. 8, David Bakatare, Packers. 7, Ty Smith, Cowboys. 6, Teron Armstead, Saints. 5, Lane Johnson, Eagles. 4, Mitchell Schwartz, Chiefs. 3, Trent Williams, 49ers. 2, Laramie Tunsil, Texans. And number 1, Ryan Ramczyk, New Orleans Saints. This guy has been a monster protecting Drew Brees and helped rejuvenate the Saints back into a contender. So it was a tough call between Ramczyk and Tunsil for that top spot, but I decided to go with Ramczyk. Now we'll move on to guards going into the 2020 season. Same thing as the tackles. I did every team's projected starting right guard and left guard in these rankings, so I have 64 of them. 64, Ethan Pocic, Seahawks. 63, Michael Jordan, Bengals. 62, Rashad Coward, Bears. 61, Zach Fulton, Texans. 60, Austin Blythe, Rams. 59, Tom Compton, 49ers. 58, Alex Lewis, Jets. 57, Nate Davis, Titans. 56, A.J. Kahn, Jaguars. 55, Wyatt Teller, Browns. 54, Eric Flowers, Dolphins. 53, Wes Schweitzer, football team. 52, Dakota Dozier, Vikings. 51, J.R. Sweezy, Cardinals. 50, Austin Corbett, Rams. 49, Joe Jackson, Lions. 48, Lane Taylor, Packers. 47, Max Sharping, Texans. 46, Dan Feeney, Chargers. 45, Xavier Suafilo, Bengals. 44, Dennis Daly, Panthers. 43, Phil Haynes, Seahawks. 42, Lincoln Tomlinson, 49ers. 41, James Carpenter, Falcons. 40, Alex Capa, Buccaneers. 39, Quinton Spain, Bills. 38, Solomon Kinley, Dolphins. 37, John Miller, Panthers. 36, Joe Dahl, Lions. 35, Pat Eflin, Vikings. 34, Isaac Siamulo, Eagles. 33, Brian Winters, Bills. 32, Charles Leno Jr., Bears. 31, Greg Van Roten, Jets. 30, Gabe Jackson, Raiders. 29, Andres Pete, Saints. 28, Chris Lindstrom, Falcons. 27, Will Hernandez, Giants. 26, Connor Williams, Cowboys. 25, Justin Pugh, Cardinals. 24, Bradley Bozeman, Ravens. 23, Mark Glowinski, Colts. 22, Andrew Wiley, Chiefs. 21, Elgin Jenkins, Packers. 20, Dalton Risner, Broncos. 19, Richie Incognito, Raiders. 18, Cesar Ruiz, Saints. 17, Joe Thuney, Patriots. 16, Ali Marpet, Bucks. 15, Brandon Scherf, Football Team. 14, Shaq Mason, Pats. 13, Stefan Wisniewski, Steelers. 12, Andrew Norwell, Jaguars. 11, Roger Saffold, Titans. 10th, Graham Glasnow, Broncos. 9, Kevin Ziegler, Giants. 8, Kasheli Osmeli, Chiefs. 7, Ben Powers, Ravens. 6, Joel Bitonio, Browns. 5, Jason Peters, Eagles. 4, Trey Turner, Chargers. 3, David DeCastro, Steelers. 2, Zach Martin, Cowboys. And number 1, Quentin Nelson, Indianapolis Colts. This guy's been an absolute rock since coming into the league. First for Andrew Luck, then for Jacoby Brissett, and now for Phillip Rivers. And due to him and the rest of the Colts offensive line is a big reason why I think Phil Rivers could be in for a big bounce back season. And now we'll do the centers coming into the season. And this is just 32 players because it's the 32 starting centers in the league this season, or projected starting centers. 32, Ted Karras, Dolphins. 31, Mason Cole, Cardinals. 30, Trey Hopkins, Bengals. 29, Chase Roulier, Football Team. 28, B.J. Finney, Seahawks. 27, Joe Looney, Cowboys. 26, Austin Reeder, Chiefs. 27, Nick Martin, Texans. 24, Lloyd Cushenberry, Broncos. 23, Garrett Bradbury, Vikings. 22, Brian Allen, Rams. 21, Ben Garland, 49ers. 20, Corey Linsley, Packers. 19, Matt Paradis, Panthers. 18, Marquise Pouncey, Steelers. 17, Mike Pouncey, Chargers. 16, Connor McGovern, Jets. 15, Nick Gates, Giants. 14, Mitch Morse, Bills. 13, Cody Whitehair, Bears. 12, Matt Skura, Ravens. 11, J.C. Treader, Browns. 10, David Andrews, Patriots. 9, Ryan Jansen, Bucks. 8, Frank Ragnow, Lions. 7, Rodney Hudson, Raiders. 6, Brandon Linder, Jaguars. 5, Eric McCoy, Saints. 4, Ben Jones, Titans. 3, Alex Mack, Falcons. 2, Jason Kelsey, Eagles. And number 1, Ryan Kelly, Indianapolis Colts. I went Kelly over Kelsey because Kelsey's been aging a little bit. And Travis Frederick retired. And Ryan Kelly has just been unbelievable since coming into the league. Again, like the Colts really rebuilt that offensive line well. And Ryan Kelly just got a contract extension to it. So, good for him because he deserves every bit of that contract extension. And last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Interesting numbers today on the board in the sports world. I won my last best bet, which was Friday. I had the over in Game 7 of the Avalanche Stars game. And today's best bet, I have a couple in mind. A couple baseball games underway already. So I'm not going to touch those baseball games. I like the over 8.5 in the Tigers-Twins game that's about to get underway in 15 minutes or half an hour or so. So give me over 8.5 in the Tigers-Twins game. Michael Fulmer, Michael Pineda, Fulmer's been an opener this year, and I don't love the Tigers bullpen. And I'm not the biggest Michael Pineda fan. I just think that sometimes he shows flashes, and he's just really not all that special. So give me the over 8.5 in the Twins-Tigers game. So that's it for the show today. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything from today and looking ahead to tomorrow's slate. I'll be doing my defensive end, defensive tackle, outside linebackers, and middle and inside linebacker rankings on tomorrow's show as well. Guess the lines for week 1 coming too. And then Wednesday's the Monster NFL Predictions podcast. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day Monday, everyone.